Guess it would help if I put the mute button off. Sorry, guys. Back from our little weekend from California, and it was relaxing. We got away, and everything's good. Um, that one day at the beach, just like eBay knew I wasn't even messing with eBay, it didn't give me much of sales at all. But uh, the intro, wanted to kind of address that. Been putting a lot of work into it, and you guys know that when we put that into play on Fridays. My thing is, if you don't like the intro, just fast forward it like 30 seconds. And the reason why we have the intro is to allow people to kind of cruise in. Not everyone's here exactly at the 3 p.m., 6 p.m. mark, depending on where you're at. And it's a lot of times, a lot of lives will put like a counter and add a little extra buffer in time. They may say they start at 3, but not really start until like 3:01, 3:02. And it's generally because we know that people want to hear the contents without feeling like they've missed it, that type of thing. So that's kind of the reason for it. And it kind of, I think it adds a little production value to the whole program. So of course, we want to know your thoughts in the chat. If there's enough people that say get rid of it, we'll get rid of it. But it just kind of there for a couple reasons. So wanted to talk to you about this article. Now, first of all, let me just shout out to Liz Morton from valueaddedresource.net. She does a lot of great work. So does Ina Steiner at E-commerce Bytes. I'm not sure if they collaborate or if they're sort of competitors or whatever it is, but they both do good work reporting the online reselling genre that most of us are interested in. And this one kind of threw me for a loop. But am I surprised? No, I'm not. And this is it right here. Stealth eBay policy update allows buyers to get advanced refunds on returns. And it goes on to say eBay has quietly updated their refund policies to allow some buyers to get advanced refunds before sellers receive returns, as questions remain about existence of a, here we go, trusted buyer program. Sellers have been perplexed by recent experiences that seemingly provide certain buyers with perks like circumventing seller-selected immediate payment required settings. Anyone notice that some buyers aren't paying even though they told us that we would get instant payment? The existence of such a program was further bolstered by an eBay survey sent to buyers about possible changes to allow free returns for any reason for auto parts and accessories. So that tells me that's more like along the eBay Motors side of things, including a specific reference to trusted buyers. There it is again, trusted buyers being provided a full credit by eBay as soon as they open the return, instead of having to wait for the seller to receive the item back and initiate a refund. Now, here's some screenshots. This is of the survey, I guess, a buyer was given. And it states, we'd like to finish off by asking you some questions about one of a few potential ideas that eBay is currently considering. So they're currently considering for making returns easier. Please read the below paragraph carefully. And it goes on to say, updated returns policy. eBay is considering a new return policy for vehicle parts and accessory sales to make the return process simpler for both buyers and sellers. And what's different? Here we go. All buyers will get free returns on all vehicle parts and accessory sales for any return reason. Sellers can choose to provide a free shipping label to buyers themselves or have eBay create one for an additional cost through a small increase to the final value fee. So they want us to increase their final value fee. There it goes. An improved returns process will capture more specific return reasons as well as the item condition from buyers, and shipping labels provided within 24 hours. And we go back up here. More convenient return drop-off freight pickup locations will be offered to eBay by eBay for buyers. And the big kicker, a full credit for trusted buyers, there's trusted buyers again, will be provided by eBay as soon as they open their return. So as soon as they hit that return button, boom, credit back to their account. That's even faster than Amazon. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Abusive buyer behavior will be managed by eBay. For example, eBay will reimburse sellers for fraudulent returns. Example, a bag of rice or a brick. eBay will provide liquidation services for any unwanted return items. And that's interesting. If you don't want the return back, eBay will provide a liquidation service. and eBay may subsidize any return costs where neither seller nor buyer is at fault. Now, this is to the buyer. So how does it benefit the buyer? By making returns easier, buyers are more likely to consider making purchases on eBay, leading to overall increased sales. You get greater clarity on buyer intent when filing a return. You have greater predictability of a return's condition, reducing administration time, enhanced protection, and support as a seller on eBay.
I don't see how any of those things benefit the seller.
Here's has eBay provided a refund to the buyer before the item even gets back to the seller? I'm the seller and I accept returns. I have an item coming back to me due to fit. The buyer just shipped it, and seems like once it got to the USPS acceptance scan, eBay gave the buyer their refund. Baffling. I didn't authorize the refund because I don't have it back yet. And here's a little note in here. This is just a screenshot. We issued an advance refund to the buyer for their return, but nothing was deducted from your funds. Once you receive the item, you can confirm the refund amount you'll send. And it says, while the seller did not specify what the item was, most of their active items are in clothing and accessories categories, not motors. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. So they did this to a seller. And you know how they do this to the sellers? They put different sellers randomly in these beta programs that we don't know about until we find out. It's also important to note a return due to fit would be considered buyer remorse return reason, and the seller properly accept the return. So this would not be a scenario where the forced refund due to eBay money back guarantee would be in play. Instead, it appears eBay has simply taken it upon themselves to provide upfront refunds to the buyers with no prior notice or input from the seller. Digging deeper reveals eBay made a stealth change to the refund policies sometime in the last few months to allow for this possibility without any announcement. So what do you guys think about that? My thoughts, there's always a testing ground. So eBay will always test it, whether they're testing it in Australia, UK, for ebay.com, or they'll find a category. Like, according to the verbiage, it was sounding like it's supposed to be an eBay Motors kind of thing. And it seems like eBay Motors, unfortunately, gets the shaft on a lot of these things. But based on that example, you have a seller that's saying, here's some screenshots. This is the message that I got. And they sell mostly clothing and accessories. So is it category based or is it seller based? Are they taking is it region based? I mean, it's hard to say who's getting it, but eBay's constantly testing these things and they are evaluating. And if they find something they like, the buyers like, and who forget what we like, because we're third on the poll. It's the shareholder, buyer, seller. So we're third in line to have any kind of real feedback that they listen to. And so here we go. Now, the good news, if we're looking for silver lining here, eBay is taking it out of their pocket. Now, there's no free lunch. This is what my economics teacher used to tell me all the time. And that means that it may be coming out of eBay's pocket, right? But at the end of the day, we're all paying for it. And where are they going to come up with these funds to front the money for refunds?
Exactly.
Well, yeah. And increased final value fees is probably the answer, guys. And with inflation, everything goes up. We talk about USPS, UPS, FedEx raising their rates like every year or so. And I'm sure eBay is going to use this or any other reason at some point to move the needle up when it comes to charging us more, whether you promote or not. So just something to keep in mind. But I just wanted I thought it was really worthy of bringing it to your attention. Again, thank you to Liz Morton from valueaddedresource.net. If you want to go back and check out the article, you can, but do it after the show. I think the screenshot gave you a lot to see and to evaluate for your own. And do you think it's good? Do you think it's a good thing maybe we're looking at it the wrong way. Maybe we're looking at it through the seller's lens of, this, is just a surprise to us. Again, here we are, no transparency. eBay's just throwing this out there and seeing what sticks. And we are the last ones to find out. But I think we kind of need to see it from the buyer standpoint. eBay is doing everything they can to hold on to as many buyers as they can. And I think what they're trying to tackle is buyer confidence. So buyer feels doesn't feel good about making a purchase, doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel confident in what they're buying. They're going to go somewhere else and buy. So it's two sides of the coin. And I can tell you that, again, maybe it's well-intentioned, but it's not being put out there the right way, as far as I'm concerned. It's not being implemented properly. Again, we're just the last ones to know.
They're trying to be Amazon, and when you have a return with Amazon, as soon as it's scanned, you get that refund back. Well,
so you're not even getting a scan here.
Yes, it said when it was scanned.
No, as soon as you hit that, as soon as you open the return, the buyer hasn't even been told to do anything yet. Now, what's this thing about trusted buyer? Trusted buyer.
Trusted my ass.
I mean, so, okay, a buyer has done everything that eBay expects them to do all this time, right? But people, it's been my assessment that people will do what they're able to or allowed to do. So if eBay is saying you have to return this item in order for us to implement a refund, then they'll return the item because they won't get a refund without it. But how many of these buyers, these trusted buyers, are going to hit the return button and not send anything back? They got their money. They don't need to make that trip to the post office now. So that really is interesting. Also, where's the love to the seller when it comes to trusted sellers?
There's no love for sellers on eBay. None. Zero, zilch, nada.
Congratulations. You've been with us for 23 years. Thank you for your loyalty.
Now, what
and
the
that's
F do you want?
That's but we won't give you any trust. If someone opens a case that just opened an account with eBay today, let's say a buyer that doesn't know how eBay works, they open a case against you for maybe because they didn't read the listing, and I get this all the time. They didn't read the listing. You have it clear in the listing what's going on with the item. Maybe there's a scratch on it that you've disclosed. They didn't see it. It's an INAD to the buyer because buyers are never wrong, right? And so this new buyer opens a case against this 22-year seller on eBay who has a perfect track record. And who do they believe? Not the trusted seller. It's the new buyer. So where is the equivalent? And that's all I think what sellers want is we want to feel like we are appreciated by the platform. Well, you're not allowed to feel, but we do. That's just I'm not saying, when I say don't take your feelings into consideration is when you're making a decision. But when you're looking and evaluating what's happening to you on this platform as a seller, many sellers don't feel appreciated. And the little spiel at the time you call saying, oh, congratulations for being with us for 20 years doesn't mean a whole lot if the actions don't back it up. And that's kind of where I'm at. And don't tell me that, okay, eBay open, we're going to give you a free hat. Okay, now shut up and pay your fees. We'll see you next year is enough, because it ain't. We need to feel, even though we know we're not, a partner in this process in some way, shape, or form. We're like that teenager that wants to know, look, when do you want me to clean my damn room? Okay, just let me know. Let me know exactly what you want, and we'll try to comply with what. But they're not even doing that. They're just doing, they're telling you, what, you're grounded. Why? Because you didn't whatever, and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. And that's kind of how it's going on right now. A bad analogy, but that's why you tuned in. So want to know what you guys think down below or in the chat. So again, no surprise. It's just another obstacle that as long as we're on the platform, we're going to have to eventually deal with. And maybe it's going to be a success from their eyes and it's expanded. What happens if this is enacted? How do you feel about the platform? Does it change anything you do? Or is it eye-opening? I just want to know. We got Pitco says, I'm here. Thanks for being here, Keith. Ready and waiting. You were the first, and Moist was the second. So nice to see you, Moist Beard. Mike says, hi, John and Jenna. Welcome back. I hope beach was as beautiful as it looked, and you enjoyed a couple days off. Well deserved. And yes, it was great. And you did a great job on that podcast, by the way. I didn't get a chance to get back to you, but it's like, where did this mic come from? I mean,
I know you were so talkative and everything. I was like, who's this guy?
and I'm going to say this, and no disrespect to the hosts of that channel, because they seem like good guys, but it seemed like you were the expert on that program.
You were.
Honestly. And it's like, that's kind of awkward, right? To go onto a show and it's like you're giving them all this, information, and they seem like they're learning something. So it just seemed very, very strange. But yeah, you did very, very good on that one. Let's see. Mike says, fellow resellers, hope sales are all good. Mine have been pretty brisk. 14 items out since Sunday. Decided to put my Halloween stuff out early, and they started selling already. Yep. You got to jump on a lot of people. A lot of people don't, put their stuff out until like September. And I was at the store the other day. They already got their stuff out. So get your stuff out for Halloween if you have it. Venom's with us. Thanks for being here. Venom has a question for the chat. And I'm sure because you guys got here really early today. Does anyone do both eBay and Mercari? Thinking of expanding to Mercari, already doing eBay. Do items sell cheaper on Mercari? Or any main differences you can describe from eBay? I can tell you from our experience, it's like a yard sale version of eBay. Let me put it that way. So you have something that sells for 20, 30 bucks on eBay. Chances are you're going to be able to sell it for sure, but probably at a $10 to $15 price point. You got to remember that buyers have to pay the seller fees now on Mercari. So you really got to be competitive with your price, knowing that, and maybe be willing to send offers as soon as you get someone that views your items or likes your item. Send them an offer if you can. Do you send offers on our account?
I do. And also too, when I cross list from eBay to Mercari, I always, can you get that off my face? Always up the price on Mercari. That way I get what I want. So I can go in, up the price by, usually it's no more than $3 to $5. So I up the price and then I send offers, and that will allow me to get what I want.
Is that better?
Oh God, way better.
Okay. All right. Happy to help. Keith does not do Mercari. Beard says, Venom, John will answer. He sells a Mercari. I don't. eBay, Amazon, Bonanza, and Truegether. I don't do Truegether. It's like a Bonanza. It's like you might get a charity sale every 2 months. I think Bonanza is like totally, I'm getting throttled on Bonanzas, guys. I haven't got a sale. How do you
had a sale on there for like 4 or 5 months.
How do you get throttled on a site that already throttles everyone to begin with? I don't know. Joe Samard says, howdy, John and Jenna. Hope you had a great time over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I had a good time. Well, I had a good time, but I had it with conditions.
Yeah, she was not feeling well. We were going to come home Saturday night, and she's like, I don't know if I can handle a drive, because she was feeling nauseous. So we got her some stuff. And I guess she felt better the next morning. Right?
I did. I felt nauseous all day from Friday afternoon all the way until we did come home. I didn't want to have to stay in the car for another 4 hours on Saturday night when I was already feeling really bad. So I was like, well, maybe if I can get this medicine in my system, get a good night's sleep, go to church the next morning with the kids, and then get going on the road. Maybe that will help if I don't rush myself. But yeah, I did wake up feeling a little better. The nausea was gone, thank God.
I think we had a bad run-in with Primo Chemo's favorite restaurant, and that is Taco Bell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we grabbed some Taco Bell.
Never again.
Because here's the deal. I thought, this is the way I am. I like to find opportunities, right? So we're traveling to California. We're traveling to California, and I'm like, okay, we're going out there. My eye doctor's out there. I'm getting like a reminder to go to my eye doctor. So I was able to get in at 2:00 appointment. Now there's a 5:30 p.m. function, like an ice cream thing for my granddaughter. I mean, we can still do this. So we got there, did the eye thing, and we knew we were going to have time to really go anywhere to eat. So we stopped at Taco Bell before we hit the road, like an hour and a half drive to LA, and from the Riverside area. And we got out there in time for it, but we were eating this Taco Bell. And I think after that, she got like sick from that, right? From eating whatever, a bad Mexican pizza or whatever it was that you ordered.
Yeah, it was a Mexican pizza, but man, we don't eat Taco Bell very often.
But when we do,
no, I've never had that issue before, ever eating anywhere. Yeah. And I mean, I was so nauseous. I couldn't shake it. There was nothing I could do to make it feel better. It was terrible. Anyway, I'll quit complaining.
So how are your guys' sales this weekend? I mean, some of you are saying that they were okay.
Really good, shockingly. Like I said on Primo's channel, I had 9 sales in the crap store. And so that in and of itself is probably my highest amount of sales. Here we go.
Don't worry, this is not going to be a sound effect show at all. I don't have it really set up on my account the right way. So you heard that.
I had 9 sales over the weekend, and 5 of them came when I was sitting on the beach on Saturday. I mean, it was one right after the other.
I didn't get any hardly on Saturday.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, on Saturday, okay, Friday we had 429. That's fine. Saturday 122. And then Sunday, $627. And then today we're at $97. So we need to hit that like button and get the sale. I did get a bunch of returns over the weekend. It's like return. Some are remorse returns. Others were obviously they didn't read the listing return. Ended up getting my Roomba. It's a Roomba S9, has the empty bin and everything in it. And they said there's a problem. I fired it up. Apparently there was some kind of a problem. I don't know what was going on with that. So it was like a 400. Well, between the 2 items I got back, it was a $400 and something in refunds. But when I took this Roomba apart, there's about $600 worth of, and that's before shipping's involved, $600 worth of parts based on sold comps. So I should have done that from the beginning, right? I think a lot of times it's an eye opener. It's hard to believe that you can list these items as parts and get more out of it than if you sell the entire working thing, right? So, it wasn't such a bad thing. Yeah, it's disappointing to deal with returns, but when you realize that you kind of shorted yourself by selling it the way you did, then it doesn't hurt as bad. So that's kind of what we did. I went in and pulled the thing apart. It only took like 10 to 15, 20 minutes to get the thing apart, and listing is just a snap on those. So let's see. Chastity, I sell on both. List at the same price on both Mercari and eBay. I don't sell the same volume as on eBay, but I do sell some higher dollar items. Now I noticed that you tend to price the Mercari items kind of the same. You do lower the prices?
No, I raise the prices on Mercari.
Why?
And Poshmark.
Why? Because I can understand why you're doing on Posh.
Because I always end up selling it for less than what I have it listed on eBay for.
Yes, because, so I could see doing that on Poshmark, but as far as on
the same
Mercari,
theory on Mercari, for me, I've never had any. It's either an offer that they sent or an offer that I sent.
See, now you guys know that I'm not micromanaging what she's doing over there because I'm just finding this stuff out myself right now. Had I been doing it, I would be lowering the price on Mercari, not necessarily in Poshmark, because I do believe there is a premium on Poshmark. People will pay a little bit more for the same item on Poshmark for whatever reason than you'll get on eBay. But Mercari is sort of like the opposite. So if you have eBay as the median price, you'll get a little bit more on Poshmark. Expect to get a little less on Mercari, and that might explain why we're not getting a whole lot of sales.
And that's the reason why. So I raised the price on Mercari. If it's the reason it's on Mercari in the first place is because it's something that's been sitting on the shelf for months and months, if not years. Mm-hmm. So it's just a lowball item that we don't care about.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's Crosslist on Mercari anyway. So I will raise the price, like I said, anywhere from $3 to $5, and then I will send offers, lower offers on those items. So in turn, I'm still trying to what?
I'm just doing
You're
what you did
just
to me.
making noises.
I am not. I'm just laughing like you laugh
Okay.
when I'm talking. Now it doesn't feel great, does it? Just saying.
You're just distracting.
I'm looking at someone saying that I look like a ghost.
You do. It's because of the black. I keep telling you this. The black on the black on the black.
Okay. All right. Well, can't do anything about it now.
Anyway.
We'll just deal with it. So you see Ghost right now, but Ghost won't be here on Friday.
Until he wears another black shirt.
But we got Flippin' from the trailer. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Venom's with us. Thanks for being here. We got Simplify in the house. Sales are slow, but overall up and up. Gail is with us. Happy Monday, all.
Happy Monday.
No one is sunburned. How disappointing.
We are. Well, I am.
Not I.
Fun fact: John doesn't go into the ocean. He doesn't.
I did go in the ocean.
You did not go in the ocean, and he was in a tent the whole time.
Okay.
With the exception of filming his video.
Right. And my feet did get wet, so I was in the ocean. I was walking in the water while I was filming the video.
Don't even. You can't claim that. That's not even fair.
That's touching the ocean.
You know.
How far do you have to go in to be officially in the ocean? Up to your neck? Do I need to hitch a ride with a dolphin?
At least go swimming.
No, I'm not going to go swimming in that. You know that's LA, right? We're doing great. Thank you. We got Spam Banshee says, great intro. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Soda City says, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing amazing. What's up, chat? Nice to see you, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
Sunburns suck. That's the trauma that I had as a kid. So this is why
he used an entire can of sunscreen. An entire can.
She had already used half of it.
No, that's a lie.
That's an old can.
I said, he had doused himself with half the can. And I said, hey, can you get my back?
Oh, I got your back.
Yeah, you got my back. And then he goes and uses the whole rest of the can on the rest of his body.
Well, I had to add more to my legs because I did get wet. And I wanted to make sure that it washed.
He was in a tent, you guys. A tent.
It was a one-sided tent.
He was in a tent.
It had a little flap that was out on the sand, so I could just kick back and have my own little shade, and it was all good. So I was all right. Got Larry Todd's with us. Thanks for being here. And we got Samantha says, welcome back, John and Jenna. Hope your weekend getaway was all that you wanted it to be. Well,
it really could have been better. I mean, when you're not feeling well and you have to be up and energetic and happy, it's very exhausting. And not to mention the dogs are a whole nother
we brought them with us.
And that's we're probably not going to be traveling together for the rest of their lives anyway.
Yeah, they're our kids. So, but I got to tell you, part of this whole tent thing that you're getting on me about, I got to tell you,
don't try.
It was justify. No. You bought it for the first of all, you bought it without me even knowing. You pulled an eBay on me. You bought it without even telling me about it, and you said, "Oh, by the way, we got a couple chairs here, and we got you a little tent. Cool. I'll put it up. I'm fine with that." So it wasn't like I went out and bought this tent. You bought it for me.
Okay, I have to weigh my options, guys. Do I want to hear him bitch and complain about being in the sun and the sand, or do I want to put him in a tent?
Yes.
And keep him zipped?
Starting to sound like eBay right now. You could have talked
I want you to zip. I was looking out for you and not myself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But you can't hold that against me if you do that. Scott Garvin says, good morning, all. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Now, our pet babies were, okay, so they are very, very well-behaved and trained animals. like, for instance, when we worked.
That is such a laughable statement.
No, it isn't, because when we used to work 9 to 5, we would basically have them in their cages for like 9 to 10 hours from the time we went to work to the time we got back home from work. And they were well behaved. They've been trained all their life to do this. So when we went to the beach, we just had them in the crate at my daughter's house, and they were perfectly well behaved the whole time.
Yeah, they're fine if we're there. It's, the car sickness on the way there.
Yeah.
The car sickness on the way home. It's a lot of extra work that nobody wants to really have to deal with.
Coppercat says, hello all. Thanks for being here. All Things Gaming likes the intro. Awesome. Thank you. Gail says, John has face cream on to cover his sunburn. That's why he looks like a ghost. Yes, I'm about to go back outside when we're done. Jovial says, sand in your crack is whack.
Yeah, it really is. When we gave the kids a bath that night, when I gave the kids a bath that night, they literally had like a gallon of sand just in the bathing suit area. And one of my granddaughter thought she was doing something funny by taking the bucket and filling it with the ocean water and then dumping it on her head. Well, it was a very high the current, what is the name of there was a lot of sand. There was a lot of sand coming up from the bottom, and it was, what am I trying to say?
Murky?
No.
I don't know what you're trying to say either.
Not.
You're killing the story.
Oh, I am killing it. But anyway, she dumped buckets of sand just on her head, thinking that it was all ocean water. And so she had so much sand in her hair that she brought it all home with her.
John Worldwide Weber says, I like the intro, and I think making it more random and variable will make it more popular. Interesting. So that means more work. Maybe I'll make a couple of variations. I don't know. But I don't want to make it more than like 30 seconds, because it's really just kind of designed to let people kind of roll in. And then if you're watching after the fact, it's going to be like 30 seconds, and you can kind of cut through all that. Samantha says, John, guess what? eBay finally started to release online eBay commercials. Yes, for all their needs. Do you think that we're on the cusp of a burst? Let's hope that it's something. I mean, we've been complaining about eBay not putting themselves out there, and I think that's been hurting them. So let's hope. I haven't seen anything like that, but
I've seen a couple, but the ones that I see are just for shoes and eBay motors and watches.
Yes, eBay offers trusted buyers layaway. Apparently, isn't that good to know? They get the benefits. I mean, my whole, and this sounds like I'm complaining about everything. It's not. I mean, I'm just openly having a conversation with those who are watching to understand that many sellers are frustrated about the lack of transparency, and how eBay will come out and tell us, hey, you business owner that's selling stuff on our site that might have an interest in knowing this, we're going to make people pay for your items up front. Great, right? So we waited 2 years for that to happen. And when it finally rolled out, everyone was kind of happy about it. And then it started slowly going away for some reason. And people kind of want to know, well, what's all this about? And I think there's the transparency. So let us know, what are these secret things you're doing behind the scenes? Give us a heads up. Hey, we're testing this. Okay. Don't freak out, but just know you might get someone that contacts you about it as a seller, and it's not a certain thing. We're just seeing how it impacts the business. I think most people would be receptive to that, right? But unfortunately, it's like they're afraid we're going to like pass on some secrets. I mean, none of us have signed an NDA, so maybe they think that we're going to go tell somebody. I don't know. Flipping from the trailers is all good, buddy. Thanks. Well, thanks for being here. Oh, Samantha says, oh, I'm sorry. Hello, FA viewers. David Pentland from Scotland says, evening all. I don't have trusted buyers.
Does anybody?
Karen Pruitt says, I heard people are scamming people. They receive their items. Ooh. Yeah. You have bad sellers and bad buyers. I'll put it that way. And instead of, and we're talking a very small percentage, and this is what companies do the wrong way. They see, oh, We have a situation. This happened at Amtrak. Oh, this employee did this. While they circumvented our policy and got around the policy and took advantage of it. So we're going to have to close the loophole that someone will probably never use again and make it very difficult to do all these things for the rest of the people. And I think that's kind of the mindset. Let's tackle the 1% to 2% of bad buyers and bad sellers and punish everyone through our policies. Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna and the chat.
Hello,
thanks for being here, Ping. Silver Hair sent all the eBay liquidation to Beard's house.
Yes, I'll sell you his address for $5.
Venom says, John, Jenna, I had the most stressful day as a part-time seller today with tracking not updating. May take a few messages. Please follow along. Dropped item off USPS this morning. Waited in line as always. Had them scan it. Got my receipt left. Tracking never updated until an hour ago. Over 8 hours for tracking to show accepted by USPS. USPS blows sometimes. They can't see anything more than us with tracking, but resolved now, and I breathe more calmly now. Was more stressed because buyer messaged me Sunday that he needs it for his this Friday for a birthday party, so didn't want to miss that deadline for them. Looks like it'll get there Thursday. Don't let anyone discredit my hard work. Called so many times today, it got updated. And the moral of the story is, guys, please stay patient with tracking. So stressed, but thank God it was updated. Yeah. But the thing is, the takeaway that I would have is 90%. This is a proven fact. Someone had mentioned, I don't know who had mentioned this, is something that's been known for quite some time, but we tend as people to worry about 90% of the things that never happen. So most of the time, you're going to worry about something that's never going to, resolve in a negative way. It's going to work out in your favor in most cases. So I don't let tracking and issues like that kind of affect me. I just roll with the punches and deal with the situations as they come up. I had a situation where someone bought it's a plastic piece you put underneath the charger for your robot mop, your Brava Jet M6 mop. If you guys know what that is, it's like you can control your phone to tell the mop to go around and mop a certain area of your house or whatever. But there's a plastic piece that goes under the charger. Not a big deal. You can use your charger without it. They ordered this thing. I think they offered me $18 plus shipping. I took it. No big deal. And then that was on Saturday. Well, that's one of the few sales we got on Saturday. I get a message this morning saying, when are you going to mail this thing out? Okay, well, we don't mail anything on the weekends. And then they're like, well, when is this going to get to me? Well, eBay shows you a range of dates when you buy this thing. Well, can I expedite it? We're leaving town.
Yeah.
So what? I don't understand that.
I don't.
Okay. Well, fine. You can expedite it.
It's not.
Here's an option. I'll offer you FedEx 2-day, and it's going to be $9 more than what you paid. And give me your email address. I'll send you an invoice through PayPal, and we'll upgrade your shipping. And they did. And we sent it by FedEx 2-day, and they should get it on Wednesday because they're going out of town and they
need their floors mopped while
they can still mop their floor. It's just a little base where the device sits.
They don't want it to leak on their floor. God forbid.
Gee. Go figure. I don't know what's going on with people some days. Some of these, let's see. I'm trying to find out where I'm at. Okay, I see where I'm at now. Henri Squaw, that is BS.
I agree.
That's the first answer to that.
I agree.
Samantha says, per Harry Tornado and ADH Dave, don't sell the elf on a shelf or anything. You'll get hit with a Vero letter. Warning, not worth the drama. Well, it's also like, this is a well-known one. If you're using, it's not that well-known if I can't remember the name of the brand. It's Velcro. They don't want you using Velcro. In fact, if you go on Velcro's website, they don't want you even using Velcro as a verb. They don't want it. They don't want it. It's ridiculous. But nonetheless, you can't use Velcro or any of those brands at all. So, it's just not worth it. Anytime you can avoid a Vero, just do what you can to avoid it. Venom says, without any announcement, that's a standard at eBay, John. We all know this. I don't get how they can do that. Blows bad business for us sellers. if like to know what changes are made. I mean, just common courtesy. If anything.
a simple email would be nice, but they don't do anything.
Is that someone here for our packages? Beers is hanging there, Jenna. It's almost over 8 minutes now. Who is that? Is that FedEx guy? Yeah, FedEx. Chastity says, so what does eBay consider a trusted buyer? That's what likely a clear. Yeah, I mean, you would think that there'd be some kind of definition to somebody. I mean, how about even the person you're giving this survey to? Hey, we consider you a possible trusted buyer because you've been with eBay for this many years, or you've had over 100 successful purchases on eBay without any like problems reported. Returns. Maybe something like that. Well, not necessarily returns, because I mean, if that was the case, I'd be a bad buyer on Amazon. I buy on Amazon, and if it doesn't meet my expectations, I'm probably sending it back. So it's not necessarily a measurement that should include the number of returns. It should be any time that you're reported by a seller, and that is if you make an adjustment as a seller with the refund tool, it automatically reports the buyer. And or if the buyer does something and a seller reports you, then that should give that buyer a ding, and they should probably no longer be a trusted buyer. Who knows? Maybe it's you can't have 10 reports against you from sellers, so we'll let you get away with the world for 9. 9. I mean, who knows? John, is eBay trying to be Amazon? Good luck, eBay. Well, they know they're up against Amazon, but unfortunately, they really need to worry about where they're losing this market share. Where are these buyers going? I don't think buyers that are leaving the eBay platform are necessarily running over to Amazon. Yeah. I think they've already been dealing with Amazon all these years. I think they're finding other places like maybe Merari, Etsy, Poshmark, you name it. Jenna looks so fed up while John rants. Were you fed up for me ranting?
You're just long-winded, buddy.
Yeah. Wow. Samantha Hunter, love the t-shirt, Jenna. It's different.
Oh, thank you.
Linda Boca, I made a purchase on eBay for a skincare item that cost $300. When I received it, the freshness date was expired by 2 years. eBay refunded me on the spot when I opened the return and did not have to return.
Yeah, I've had that situation as well with like anything that is a skincare or a makeup. If it's expired and I don't know if it's triggered by keywords or what, but I had the same thing happen where I purchased skincare and it was expired, and I put in for a refund and got it instantly. It was a couple years ago, but I think it's still once you say something about expiration date.
We have our mailman trained really well, so he knows that we have some issues with our doorbell camera for some reason. It'll pop up a little notification that they're in front of the camera, but he'll knock on the door as well, so we know that's him. Richard says eBay Motors is getting the drive shaft. Yeah, it seems like they are the redheaded stepchild, unfortunately. Venom says, so wait, John, long story short, eBay will be giving buyers refunds right away from eBay's funds when they do a return request. That's wild, but it don't affect us, right? So it's right now in a testing phase, apparently, and it's not every transaction. So most of the time, it's going to be the normal thing that you're used to. Now, some sellers right now, if a buyer opens a return request, they're automatically putting a hold on your funds. Now, it doesn't happen to my main account, but it happens to our secondary account. And I believe it's based on sales volume and all that stuff. So in theory, if I'm selling an auto part, when I do sell auto parts every so often, if they're focusing on the auto category, eBay Motors category, if I get a return on an auto part, they could be fronting the money to the buyer without impacting my account, right? So buyers got their money, they're happy, but now the buyer's got to send it back still. They got to do their part, and eBay's counting on these trusted buyers to do their part and send it back. I just have my doubts on buyers going through that if there's no incentive for them to do that. And that situation with Linda was a month ago. Okay, so maybe they've been doing this for a while and we're just finding out. John, Worldwide Weber says, John and Jenna, thanks for being right on top of the new stuff I don't catch. Great stuff. Well, again, I got to thank Liz Morton from Value Added Resource for putting that article together and putting it all together. So good on her for that. Henri Squaw, the last Amazon return I did, they gave me Amazon credit, not a refund. You have an opportunity to refund the original form of payment on Amazon, but it's usually like a link of some sort.
He can't take this.
Why not?
He said because he's not express. It'll be late if he takes it.
Well, that's not
so good. We have to go take it to FedEx.
Was that the FedEx driver that said that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, gee. Well, they're closed already. This ain't getting to them in time. Oh, they're not. You want to take it? Because they close at 4:30.
How do you know?
I know that. They close at 4:30.
What time is it?
3:45. Well, Jenna's going to be going to FedEx because I did not realize that my FedEx ground driver will not take a FedEx package. This is that thing that they had to have, right? So next time, you know what? I'm not going to even bother with it. Now, I guess I could have done the USPS Priority Mail Express option, and that was a little bit more. It's like $12 more. I was just trying to keep it as cheap as possible and get it there on Wednesday. I think it's going to the East Coast. You know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I think Jenna's going to have to make a run over there and drop it off. Samantha says, if eBay starts calling the buyers on this platform trusted, we are screwed. I think they really – look, there's some good people. There's a lot of good buyers. There's buyers who will, on their own dime, ship something back to you.
Having my phone and my drink.
Oh, there you go. So there's people who, on their own dime, will send it back to you.
Water.
And, gee, how many waters and drinks do you got? But there's a segment of the population that I really feel that are truly, truly good people and probably would fit well into being called trusted buyers. But I really, because they don't tell us, really, I'm very apprehensive about eBay categorizing people as trusted. What is it, based on how long they've been on the platform? That doesn't mean anything. You've got people who know how to scam sellers who have over 1,000 feedback. I've seen it myself. So is that a trusted buyer? John says all systems will be gained by someone. I agree. Beer says eBay, just lube it up before you stick it to us. Cyril says you got a hat. I'm wondering if you meant for going to eBay Open. Well, we got this one here back there, that eBay hat, going to like one of the seller check-ins. Beard says, any reason why flipping ain't easy? Good night, folks. Another reason why flipping ain't easy. Right, that's for sure. Montezuma says, I'm hitting the like button for some sales. Please do that. Hit the like button. Get a sale within the next 24 hours. I don't know how or why it works, but it just does. Jovial says, happy National Toilet Paper Day. Excellent. We did sell 2 toilet seats over the weekend, so this stack is getting shorter. We still have another stack in the shipping room of the teal ones, and I'm down to like 5 orange ones. So slowly but surely, if I can get these things gone by the end of the year, then great. Now, I was going to list some of these on Marketplace, and I'm probably going to do that, but I didn't do it last week because I didn't want people hitting me up to meet them on the weekend, and I wasn't going to be here. So I've got a TV, a 65-inch TV that I've got to list on Marketplace. So why not? Venom says, John, sending this message to help answer my first question about Merari and eBay, differences between them, thinking of expanding to them. Is it easy to import all eBay items there? How does it work? So if you simply try to do this on your own, where you maybe have 2 monitors, you have eBay on this side, Merari on that side, and you're trying to copy, paste, it doesn't work that easy. Yeah, you can maybe do a little copy paste, but Merari has, I think, shorter titles than on eBay, and there's different fields you have to fill out, and it's kind of convoluted. I really do believe that having a program to help you do that, like with photos, you have to actually save your photos into a folder and then go in and re-upload them. And this is in all cases, if it's in the wrong format, it's not going to load very well on Mercari. You need one-to-one when you're taking your photos if you're listing on Mercari. But if you're doing it by yourself, and I've done it by myself, it's a pain in the butt. You're not going to get a whole lot done. And that's where a service like TreeCat comes in, where they'll load up all your listings on eBay into a central library, and then you can then export them over to Mercari, and it's going to take all those photos, all the data, and all you got to do is just fill in, select a couple fields on the Mercari side and launch your item. So something to look into. There's a link in the description down below if you want to give it a shot. And don't allow something that I think is very useful, like cross-listing, to become a burden, and it's going to take too much of your time to try to do it manually. Samantha says, this is why I can't fully commit to their international platform and promoted listing fees. So I think they've probably worked out the bugs on the whole international platform, the EIS, Global eBay International Shipping Program. Used to be Global Shipping. I think that's ironed out. So to me, it's really well done in that you're just shipping it to eBay. They're saying, look, you're done. We're taking care of it from here on out. That's the good news. Promoted listings, it's always been a money grab, right? It's a way for eBay to get more money from the sellers. We've said that from day one. But if you want to sell your items on this platform, you're going to have to promote on some level. Bottom line, eBay's got it set up that way. And the more you resist in doing that, the less success you're going to have. Can you make sales without promoting? Sure, you can. People do it all the time. But can you meet your potential without promoting? The way the algorithm's set up, I'm a firm believer that you cannot. You have to utilize it in some way, shape, or form. Serial says, I've been putting out selling Christmas alongside Hollow. Get your Christmas stuff up right now. It's going to sell. There's early birds who are already thinking about how they want to get their Christmas holiday stuff set up. Flipping from the trailer says, hi guys, new to the group. Thank you for having me. Learning a lot. Well, thank you for being here. We love to have new faces, and you're certainly welcome to be here. List high, then 20% off is way better. My only thing is, if you list it too high with the intention of marking it down, you're going to get people that are going to skip right over those listings. They're looking for a low price. If you price that high price somewhat reasonably, and now you get them in, they say, the price is kind of high, but wait, there's this coupon that's bringing it down in price, like the public coupon. That may be the strategy to use. John Doe says, I'm all for trusted buyers and instant refunds. eBay needs to keep up with the competition. And that's the pressure that they have, right? Because people are comparing this buying experience with their Amazon buying experience. I'm sure there's many of us, I can't say all, but most people right within this chat probably have, they do somewhat decent amount of business with Amazon. I mean, I can't assume I know everyone. Some people may never buy from Amazon, but the people I know, Amazon tends to be the first place they go to. Why? Because I can order an item this morning and get it by 5 o'clock. And I've had that happen numerous times. Or this evening, I can order an item. It's going to be here between 4 and 8 a.m. eBay can't touch that. So what do? They try to one-up them on the return process. Jerry says, hello, FAE family. Thanks for being here, Jerry. Venom, Mercari app seems so basic. Jen, explain that again, please. How do you get the price you want? How do you price? Also, how do I cross-list to it? So Mercari has its own free tool. So I'm not familiar with Mercari's tool, but I can tell you that with TreeCat, if you go to treecat.io or use the link down below, you can use TreeCat to get all your items into one library, right? And then you can say, I want this to go to Mercari and Posh. I want this just to go to Mercari, this only on eBay. And you can do it that way. And as far as pricing, though, she kind of just does it where it's pretty much the same price from eBay to Mercari. My thought is you want to go a little bit lower with your price on Mercari as compared to eBay. So be willing to take a little bit lower amount because you're not paying seller fees on Mercari. And then on Poshmark, you're charging a little bit more than on eBay. It's just always been a thing where people will pay a little bit more on Poshmark. Flipping from the trailers is Bonanza, the site Kevin owns, right? LOL. I don't know about that. That was a rumor that his own Trash to Cash folks co-host actually started, but I highly doubt that. Taco Bell, Payuk. It met the need. We were both hungry. We had another 2 hours of drive, so we had to grab something. Diamond Roy says, I took a gander on HiBid, and there are some pretty good auctions in my area, South Florida, ones that don't have any bids on them. What I noticed, that we do have a HiBid out here too, and I've checked them out. They tend to have a lot of snipers who jump on like within 5 minutes, and that's where you get most of your action. So you might see hardly any bids or no bids at all, but if it's a decent item, it'll get some bids closer to the end. Beard says, stop being so cheap, John. Taco Bell almost took out your wife. All that good Mexican in Cali used cheap out. We just didn't have time. It was one of those things where went to the eye doctor. They did their thing. They take their sweet time. We all know how that works. But I got it out of the way. And that left us with a small window. We just got to get driving. So let's stop here. Get what we're going to get. We didn't have time to stop for that. Basket noodle, ground beef from a can, same as public schools do. Yum. Yes, and I didn't get any smarter when I was eating it. Jovial, Taco Bell on the run definitely gives you the runs. Big Trey, I don't eat a Taco Bell except maybe crunchy tacos, but I'm there getting iced coffee for my wife every day. It's not a habit. We have one right over here. I don't hardly ever go to it. Axe Monkey, I love Mercari for my low dollar media. I do free shipping and ship through Pirate Ship. Seems to be working well for me. Mercari shipping stinks unless it's a sports card. Yeah, they do charge. They charge more than they should for their label. If you're buying the labels through Mercari, it's going to really, in my opinion, set off or put off a lot of people from wanting to buy your item because the shipping's too high. So if you can integrate the cost of shipping into the price of the item and do like what Axe Monkey's doing, and that's buying the shipping through Pirate Ship. Now, we were talking about Pirate Ship on Primo Chemo's channel today, and on the Profit Playbook podcast on Saturday, Beard and I were talking about shipping through Pirate Ship, and you can save money on your shipping labels on Pirate Ship as compared to eBay. Why? I mean, eBay should be getting pretty much the same deal as Mercari. I mean, not Mercari, but per Pirate Ship, you'd think. But for whatever reason, eBay is getting the deal, and we're paying a little more than that. Maybe it's just a way to make money. I don't know. I have no way to prove that, but it's just a guess. Pirate Ship, you can throw maybe a rewards credit card on there, right? Something that gives you rewards. Maybe run your labels through there, buy your labels through there, get the rewards, of course, pay off your labels on a weekly basis. And maybe by the end of the year, you have enough money to maybe do some Christmas shopping. Maybe that's something to maybe do for next year. JRKR 1964, sales not good. So how do we get them better? That's the question. How do we improve on your sales? Serial says, boy has buttons, watch out. I don't know. I don't know if that worked at all. Maybe. Susan Phelps says, mine are terrible, eBay or Poshmark. Good for you, Jenna. She does a good job with the Crosslister. So anytime we meet with Tree Cat on Tuesday evenings to kind of go over, their progress, some of the things that they're implementing and they're working on, and they're doing a lot of work to really bring this program like up to speed with a lot of cool things. Like if you use Posture VA, if you use Posture VA to share your listings, and you're paying like $20-25 a month for that program on your phone. Well, if you're using that service, they are implementing that into their current price point for cross listing. So it's part of the package. So you don't have to pay that monthly fee. So little things like that they're putting into play are really promising. So something to look into. Chastity says, I didn't have a lot of sales, but I sold some high dollar vintage toys. One was $200. There you go. Love to find some vintage toys, especially this time of year, Q4 coming up. Those are going to be hot items. Basket Noodle, if you ever cleaned a grease trap where ground beef from a can is cooked, you've never eat that stuff again. Been there, done that. So I can tell you like Wiener Schnitzel, right? And I worked there after leaving high school, I worked there, and we did food prep in the morning. And you know how they make their ground beef? It's not from a can. They take the patties, so they'll cook up a bunch of patties the night before. They're burger patties from, they sell burgers there, and they'll cook them up and they'll put them in these round um, containers, and they'll put them in the fridge overnight. So you get there in the morning, you basically fire up the deep fryer, and you put that ground beef in the hot deep fryer in the container still, and you let it get up to temperature, and then you chop it up and you put it in the chili. That's how they make the chili. So watch Wiener Schnitzel come after me. The Gallardi group's going to come after me. Susan says mine are terrible. We saw that already. Axe Monkey got a sale on Posh. Awesome. Nice to see that. Keith says my sales have tanked on the weekend. I think there's other people that have said that their sales this weekend wasn't so great. And, we have a holiday weekend, sort of the official end of summer with Labor Day coming up this weekend, and the beginning of football season. Well, no, that's the following week, isn't it? But, it's coming too. Mike Camparelli says, thanks for the compliment. It's a fairly new podcast, and they have less experience than me. Ben's is 3 years, and Joel has less than a year in reselling. Well, based on that performance, you could probably put together your own podcast. So hopefully that gets you out of your shell, and you're willing to come on and hang out with us whenever you want. Mike Seller says, sales, what are those? So the question is, how do we get, other than hitting the like button and getting your sale in the next 24 hours, how do we get you on track with your sales? There's an answer somewhere. Now, it may not be the one you want, but there's an answer there. There's sales there for you if you make the right changes. Serial says, ooh, I so want Roombas now. Now, they're cracking open a robot vacuum is at first sort of overwhelming, right? You're a little intimidated by it. It's like, ooh, I don't want to break anything. You're looking for these small screws. You got to have the right little screwdrivers and stuff. But once you get the hang of it, and every brand is a little different on how to pull these things apart, it's kind of cool. It's like, ooh, there's $60 there. Ooh, there's $40 there. And you really can, there's a market for it. And if you're going to go on the internet to buy parts for a vacuum cleaner or any appliance, chances are, I think eBay is probably the only place that you're going to, maybe Mercari, but you're probably not going to find these parts anywhere other than on eBay. And the other option is to buy a brand new one. And this particular one, the S9s are like $1,000. So they're pretty expensive. Basket Noodle, it's literally grease bee gone commercial cleaner cut to 10 to 1 and a huge scraper like a driveway ice scraper. That doesn't sound too good. Sonny wants to know how the beach was. It was good. I mean, it was about 80 degrees, which is absolutely perfect. If you're coming from 110 degrees to 80 degrees, it's perfect. Nice breeze, as you saw the video or not on my channel that I posted this morning. I didn't bring a windscreen with my microphone, which was a mistake. And I think a lot of people heard it. It was kind of, you get that breeze that comes off the ocean. It's so nice. It's so nice and comfortable. If I had the appropriate setup, I could have easily taken a 2 to 3 hour nap. Montezuma says sales are okay over here. Shipped out 10 this morning. There you go. We had 20 some odd between the two accounts, which is pretty good. Beard says some of the parts is greater than the whole, old wise saying. And Cyril says she raises them gloves a percentage off. Beard is disappointed in my management style. I'm very happy with it. I allow her to kind of do what she feels is right. I'm just going to trust her judgment. I don't have time to micromanage all the things that she does. The only interaction that I have with the secondary account, which is what we call her account, is I do the listings on that account. Then she pushes over those listings to the appropriate site. So we get sales. So, hey, can't complain. Susan says, I was canceled on Mercari the weekend they came out with the new rules on seller fees. No explanation on any item, nor could I respond. I raised prices on Poshmark from eBay prices, and that works. Yeah. That does work. I just really think that if we're trying to get sales on Mercari, that we need to realize that what the buyer is dealing with and why a buyer, how many times has the buyer looked at your Mercari item and clicked away because they're getting that sticker shock of, oh, I didn't know I had to pay 11% or whatever it is that they're charging the buyer. It's enough to, just as we say, a 10% coupon might be enough to get them to buy. An 11% surcharge on top of what they thought the price was is enough to get them to click away. Callie Deb says, hello, John and Jen in chat. I'm a little bit late. I had decent sales across all platforms last week. There you go. Yeah, how you not tan? Well, first of all, it's the camera. I did get another, so that little magical camera that you guys grew to love and hate the last couple weeks, I returned that thing because the color was off. All the settings it wasn't getting the color right. So now I have two cameras, but the secondary camera is still not cooperating. We have the main camera. I wasn't going to mess with it before the show because I didn't want to have everything go haywire and then the show's late by half an hour or we're trying to fix stuff. So this is the Razer Kaio Pro, and that's what we have going on. And I just need to I wear black. Let me just be honest with you. I would rather wear black on these lives because black tends to slim you down a little bit. And this guy needs all the help he can get. Flippin' ain't ghostly. Yes, I agree. Jovial says, just an FYI, hot food makes you go, okay. Try not to eat hot foods while traveling unless you don't mind pooing in public. No, I have no problem with self-control. Yard Sale Steals 300 says, I don't send offers on Mercari since you can't send them again unless you send for less than what you first sent. I like to send offers to likers, and it usually goes, if you have multiple people that like an item, I'll say if it's 25, I'll offer them 22. And that works from time to time. Samantha says, John, your bubble box is different. Nice. Duncan, nice to see you. I spent till 3 p.m. packing orders on Saturday while you were enjoying the beach. Yes, John is a ghost again. He must have stayed under the beach tent. I did stay under the beach tent, and I was very happy to do so. I had my iPad. I played, and this is just whatever. I played some ponies. I had some races going on my iPad, laid back, relaxed, and just enjoyed myself. Made a sandwich, interacted a little bit. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to go down to the beach and make a video. And that's my only interaction with the water. Beers is fish screw in the ocean. Avoid that. No, avoid that. I know that there's sharks out there, right? You see these stories about someone walking in the ocean, they get pulled in. I ain't trying to do all that. I had a bad experience as a kid. I think I mentioned this before, but when I was like 11 years old, was out in the ocean doing the boogie board thing with the friends, and I came back like a lobster. You add that with the sand that I had on me, I was miserable the whole ride home and for the next couple, 2-3 days. And it left a bad experience in my mind, and I've never really cared to go back to the beach again. Glitter Witch is with us. Thanks for being here. Duncan VR says, John must be scared of sharks. He don't want to go in the water. I just, I don't need to go in the water. I don't need to. I just didn't need to. It was nice. It was relaxing. Get that ocean breeze. Nothing like an ocean breeze, guys. It's just, it's really nice. Samantha says, Jenna, there's sharks in the water. Hello. Yes. Sharks love sunscreen. I don't know, but sunscreen is moist. I agree with that. Sunny Las Vegas, probably an air-conditioned tent at that. No, it had windows. It was a $30 little contraption, and it touted itself. The little tag says, set up in 2 minutes. But wouldn't you know, it took us like a half an hour because that thing wasn't going up in 2 minutes. I don't care how good you are at setting up a tent. I challenge anyone to get that thing up in 2 minutes. It ain't happening. And the takedown was probably half as long. But once we got it up, it was worth messing with. Venom says he was in a tent. New T-shirt. So nice to see you, Glitter Witch. I love seeing new folks being here with us. That's awesome. So the tent is now listed on eBay. I joke with Jenna because the tag was still attached to the pouch. They give you like a pouch you take the tent out of. Well, we still have the tag with the instructions on there. I said, look, we can send it back, or we can sell it on eBay, new with tags. John Doe had to work outside today, 11 hours. I am burnt. Thankfully, for most people, temperatures are going down. For us, it's weird. We had like low 90s while we were gone out here. And it's looking like it's still low 90s today or mid 90s. So the temperatures have cooled down 10 to 15 degrees. And even earlier today when I was out in the garage working, didn't have to fire up the AC unit. It felt good. And hopefully we have the hot temperatures past us now. Cyril built a deck and burn out now, but an AC. That sounds great. A deck, you can get out there and barbecue and hang out. That sounds good. Basket Noodle, did she get a flag that says John's tent, do not approach without express permission? Hey, I offered to have her come sit with me. She's like, no, I want to socialize. Okay, we can kind of angle the tent towards where everyone is too. It doesn't have to be angled right at the ocean, but she had no part of it. Scott, is no one going to say anything when John looks at her saying spraying on her back? LOL. Some of us have just the wrong mindset. John says, pick your battles wisely. Yes. Venom, Jenna, John bicker like a 60-year marriage. I love y'all. It's so awesome. Yeah, we have a good time. We have a good time. That's for sure. Flipping goods with us. Happy Monday. Serials is future couple from the movie Up. Duncan VR, I missed the intro with too many John pop-ups and ad blocker wouldn't stop them. Ahmad Hassan says, hello, I'm from Pakistan and doing drop shipping on eBay and I want to do stock. Can you please let me know how much is delivery fee of courier? If you're saying that you want to have merchandise shipped to your location, that's a good question. I don't know how much it's going to cost to have merchandise shipped to where you're at. We don't do a lot of, even though I have had some experience in the past on drop shipping, I really can't help you. You might want to go check out Paul J. Lipsky's channel. He does a lot of drop shipping stuff. He's done that for many, many years. Samantha Hunter says, everyone Google eBay commercial and see if you like it or hate it. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that now, but I will do that at some point. Jovial says, pro tip for sunburn, vitamin E oil, instant relief. Aloe vera does well. I think Jenna's back, so she'll be joining us here in a second. Duncan VR, when I was a kid, we had a beach house. I used to hate the sand and salt water. I just don't, there's something about the salt water. It all gets on your skin and you kind of get dried out and everything. It's not for me. John says, this past weekend, I got a notification from eBay to join a live auction. Clicked on it, looked similar to Whatnot. Didn't buy anything, but first time I saw it. They've actually had that in production for at least a year and a half. It was their response to Whatnot. Honestly, I wasn't aware it wasn't out of beta. And if it is a full-time thing, if it's a thing that they're now supporting, then they're not doing a very good job of getting the word out as compared to, Whatnot. I don't know that it's going to be any success if they can't get people that are actively looking for merchandise through their lives. Samantha, don't forget to protect your packages this season from thieves. Yes, we have a pretty good location where we're at, so we don't have to really bother with it too much. Did they take it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Keith says, well, my road trip in a couple days, and I'm going to be hitting that beach and doing some free diving. Free diving. We didn't have any areas to dive in, that's for sure. Here's my address if anybody wants to know. 317 Beach Tent Road. If you want to send me any
with windows.
Yes.
And by the way, we may have had Taco Bell, but because of my whole little situation, I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't burp. I couldn't. I was so nauseous, but nothing would come out anywhere. Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
Larry Todd, Bravo Jet comes with a beach tent, right? Cyril says, I bet they returned that. They refused to pay back the $9 additional. Well,
no, they paid it.
They did pay the $9 additional. They paid that through my PayPal. So eBay doesn't have their hands on that. So let's say they returned it. I mean, I hate to think they return a piece of plastic as not as described, because that's all it is a piece of supportive plastic. But if they did return it and it's a 9 ad or something, I would only be responsible to return the $10 in shipping that they paid. So it looks like I had some kind of a bundle. Did you have a bundle shipped from Mercari? Courtney Peterman says you can sell Elf on the Shelf as long as it is the real copyrighted one, and you can show photos with tush or tush tags. A tush tag.
That's good to know.
Velcro equals hook and loop. Yep. My Gertis, thanks for being here. That buyer listens to your live.
Does he? Would that be you, Mike?
What? Samantha Hunter. No, John's address is 1313 Flippin' Ain't Easy Lane. Yes, that's right. It'll get forwarded here from there. It's funny. We had a cat litter box that I sold. Person said, I don't like the quality of this box. I don't think it's going to work. Look, this is like the 10th one of these we've sold, and no one's ever complained before you. Send it back. They sent it back. We got it back, inspected it, tested it. Everything worked out. So we listed it again, and that thing sold like within a day. And then so Jenna's looking at it going, uh-oh, it says repeat buyer on this. I hope the person that just returned it didn't go and buy it again from us. But thankfully, no. They bought this person was a repeat buyer. They bought a football case, one of those football cases like I have over her head there. And I said, oh, yeah, they had bought the acrylic football case, and their cat outgrew that. So they wanted a new cat box.
Hey, you know who we haven't seen in a while?
Who haven't seen in a while?
Ken. I'm going to start sending search teams for you people.
Yeah. No one designed. Where's he at? Nick
Right.
Rinaldi. Velcro's about to send you a cease and desist for saying it 3 times without paid authorization.
Well, now you've said it more.
Well, I was saying it to back up what they're asking you not. Don't use it as a verb. Don't use it as a verb. Bearded Picker, 33 minutes behind. When you get here, start skipping comments. All right, I'll start skipping your comments. You asked. I take requests. Serial 411, the videos 33 minutes behind the comments. Yep. Kind of the way we roll here. Larry Todd, John, Amazon is tired of you returning big girl panties. No, I returned the webcams because they just weren't working the way I wanted them to work. So hey, basket noodles, they're going to retailers. Duncan says I hit the like and sold 34 items. Oh no, too many.
34
items. Oh no, too many. Yeah, that was good. That's awesome.
I could do that.
Yeah. Beard says one of the biggest disappointments on TV, right up there with Al Capone's vault being empty. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. John Doe says trusted buyers, someone who hasn't placed bad feedback in over a year. That would be great. It's got to be better than that. It's got to be better than that.
I would really like to see what the conditions are.
They'll never share it with us.
No.
They won't even share with us a general report on exactly what is the percentage of buyers on the platform that maybe are considered bad buyers or have scammed somebody or has been thrown off the platform for doing shady stuff. They won't share that with us. So why would they share what a good buyer is? Basket Noodle, retailers online have had a 40% increase in traffic since COVID ended. Now, since COVID ended, but how is it now as compared to that 2 to 3 month period where everyone was getting that free money? Serial says, John, that could just be someone with 2 accounts who has not used an account in over a year. Possibly. Mike Gertis says, every freaking day there seems to be some change to the platform. Today, my desktop messages are now like the mobile app. Yeah, they're changing stuff. And I've always said that it would be a better look if they could do this. They can make a change, like have a platform in the background where they're working and tweaking all these things. Maybe have a number of sellers, like say we'll give you like a 10 to 20% deal on your final value fees if you're willing to help us beta test your site. Give the rest of us the working site, and once the bugs are worked out on the main site or the beta test site that they've been working on, then middle of the night upload it with the new software, and now we're up to speed. But we're all beta testers, and they don't have to give anyone a discount. See how that works? Jovial says, send an expensive package to a friend and wrote diapers on the box in hopes it would actually be delivered without issues. It worked.
Oh, wow.
You should put soiled diapers
Oh God.
Basket
No.
Noodle says, well, Mercedes says counterfeit parts are up 20%.
Wow.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Susan says, well, when has seller you don't leave negative feedback, it hurts future sellers on the customer.
When has seller you can't leave negative?
Yeah, if you're saying that sellers can't leave negative feedback, I don't know what that means. Now, if we don't get a negative feedback, that I think that does help. And if you get warranted negative feedback, then it should hurt you. I can tell you that though we've had a lot of negative feedback lately on the account. We're talking 4 or 5 in the last 60 days, and it hasn't hurt us much at all, if anything. Basket Noodle, I would never buy an auto parts on eBay. I prefer the automotive stores so I could be ripped off professionally. And Nick says Walgreens, those FedEx drops. Did you go to the main FedEx?
No, I went to the main FedEx drop off.
Where's that at?
On Cheyenne. I have a return request.
The one that we normally go to. The one we go to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Samantha says John, eBay is going against their own requirement. 10. When do you do listing? You check off the buyer pays returns.
This is old.
Not fair. Let's look at that later.
Yeah.
So it's not fair if a buyer pays returns.
eBay is going against.
I don't know. When do you do listings? You check out. I have, in my case, on both stores, I do buyer pays for returns. So they will open a return and make up some reason, like item damaged. Like, for instance, the guy bought, here goes another mower. I sold another mower, a Lawn Master mower, advertised mower only, no batteries, right? So maybe some guy out there has used his mower and it died on him, right? Well, he still has the batteries. So buy my item, pop in the batteries, and he's back in business. We tested it and everything was great. Well, this guy opened it saying that it doesn't work and opened it as damaged. So I reached out to him. I said, you do have the batteries, right? And he came back, no, I don't have the batteries. Can you help me find them? What? No, I'm not going to help you find them. I'm not here. I'm not your personal shopper. If you return this, you're going to have to pay for the shipping, because now, of course, I'm on the label for that. So I'm not giving you the original shipping back. Now, I could go in and adjust the shipping or the refund by 50%, but that's against eBay's policy. So I'm not going to play that game, but they're not getting the original shipping back. I said, you'd be better off going on and finding these batteries on your own, and you're in business, right? You got your mower. These people, it doesn't matter. You could put read in the title. You could put what it comes with and what it doesn't come with in the item description condition and in the item description, and they're not going to read it. Bearded Picker says, John, this is more failure of your management skills, the joys of YouTube lives. Yes, I am slacking. Jovial Dollar General accepts FedEx too. I don't trust that though.
Yeah, I would just rather take the extra 5 minutes and go to the actual FedEx place.
Well, Just Plain Bill, you are on time because I'm late getting to your comment. I'm a little late to the party, had to get stuff shipped. I hope you guys had a fantastic time at the beach. We did. Thank you so much. Silver Hair, get your shower shitter before the Christmas rush, before
That's
they're
right.
gone.
Before
Come and get
them. They're going. They're like hotcakes.
Before I raise the prices. Ashley Sims, I'm doing a little experiment on eBay. So far, I'm 2 days in and sales are up. So what are you?
Nice. What are you doing? Well, she doesn't want to tell her secrets.
Well, give us a general idea. I mean, that's saying not a whole lot. So,
anything that we already do. Maybe.
If you're saying, look, I'm going to experiment with this new product. Okay, so we have an item. Yeah, so I'm going to use this rate of promoting, or I'm going to do offsite ads, or what is it that you're doing that's different? Venom, yeah, I saw that Merari has their own tool to Crosslist.
Yeah, I did see that.
But you're limited though. You're limited to eBay. It's sort of like Bonanza, right? Bonanza has theirs built in, so you just go on and tell them, look, import it, right? And that works well. The problem is they don't have anyone on their site buying anything. At least in my case, they're not. Pitco works in USA as well. We got Craig Landshark Picker. I don't understand how these cross-listing apps aren't more AI aware. Still more manual intervention, in my opinion. I agree with that. I'd like to see right now they're kind of jumping on, like some of these sites are jumping on the AI item description bandwagon, which I support. I think is great. But I really thought that eBay would have, they talk about being AI centric and everything they do is with AI. So why haven't you allowed AI to fill in these item specifics for it? Why are we still dealing with item specifics?
Yeah.
Just plain Bill, I do 3% and it works just fine. For a lot of 3% is better than 2%, in my opinion. If you're at 2%, all the reluctant promoters are at 2%. Like, fine, I'll do at least 2% since that's what I need to do to make sales. And it's just one notch, in my opinion, one notch above not promoting at all. So anything above that is, to me, better, but you just got to experiment. Maybe it's 3%, maybe it's 5%. But I think I put a video out on this. It sucks to pay more to eBay for fees, right? But if I can take that $10 investment, flip it into 30, and then that's after the higher fees, rather than getting 40 for it, and then I can flip that 3 times over by the time that $40 item sells without, at a 3% or 2% promoted rate, you're making more money in that same period of time. I guess that's what I'm saying. Venom says, I saw on Mercari website that they have their own free cross-listing tool. You paste eBay store link and it transfers it to Mercari. That's interesting.
You still have to go through Venom and make sure that the information is transferred correctly. And on your description, make sure that it's within their character limit. Otherwise, it will not list.
TreeCat is good for you.
Yes.
If you're cross-listing, don't do it manually. It's just it's not worth it. No. Ashley says their meat looks like cornflakes before they add water and cook, but when you're hungry and it's open, it is what it is. Taco Bell. John Worldwide Weber.
Yeah, it won't be happening again, guys.
Had a UK buyer looking to buy multiple items, wanted combined shipping, couldn't figure out how to do this with eBay International shipping. So I sent a coupon to make up for the free shipping, waiting for a sale. There you go. Being proactive. I love that. Venom, wait, so if I sell on Mercari, I should buy them where? Pirate Ship or Mercari? If I do Pirate Ship, how does it work? Can I have USPS scan QR code like eBay and print my label for me? I don't know if with Poshmark, if they have the QR code. Anybody out there who does Poshmark, if you have USPS run your labels, let me know in the chat or down below. But I can tell you, you can do it one of two ways. You can have like a calculated kind of shipping with Mercari, but they have jacked up rates. So they're making a little money. They're greasing their pockets off of that label. Or you can say this $20 item includes shipping, and then you go on to Pirate Ship, buy the shipping, and then just upload the label. And you're probably going to do better that way. Venom says, John, do you buy labels on eBay or we buy to make this the process simple for her? Because when she took over the shipping, I just wanted it to be somewhat easy so that she wasn't jumping all over the place. We're going to be implementing the Pirate Ship thing here pretty soon. But she currently does eBay labels, and she's also on FedEx with our account getting deals. But there's been a problem with FedEx.
Yeah, there's been a big problem with the FedEx website. It won't calculate to get a rate. And so I've been having to use eBay FedEx, which, it's not terrible because it is discounted rates, but yep. I would really prefer, because on our FedEx, our agreement is we have to do so many packages. So in order to justify the price of us paying for them to come pick up and having the account, it would be way better if I could just get FedEx labels to print, to calculate, because I don't know what's happening. I told him about 90% of the FedEx labels that I try to run are not going through. And so I'm having to use eBay.
Venom says, I need more inventory. Can't seem to find good deals on Facebook lately. Just gotta look. Maybe look beyond Facebook. Go and do a Google search. See if there's something in your area.
Yeah.
Where you can find merchandise. I'm picking up 2 pallets. One on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and I gotta go pay for another one. I just won today.
Jonathan,
what?
Where are we gonna put it?
You asked me the same question 2 weeks ago, and we worked it out just fine. I'm not going to go down that imaginary trail of worry where it doesn't have. As long as I'm proactive and I make it work, you shouldn't worry about it. Jerry says, I usually check the price for shipping on Pirate Ship before I purchase from eBay, and they're usually the same price. A lot of times, but not always. He sells seashells. Sales very good. Sales very good the past couple of days. Had 2 sales while watching before I hit the like button.
Yes!
We knew you were going to hit the like button. Southern Vermont Vintage. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Dark Horse Productions. I swear by I'd ship that.
Oh, is that another YouTuber?
I don't know. Jovio says, please check to ensure you're still subbed to this channel. I was mysteriously unsubbed. What?
What?
You know what? It could be happening. I mean, I thought that by now we'd be at 30,000, right? But, you know, it is what it is. I also got to do better at getting better content out to you, not some, you know, windy video that I put out today. I almost didn't put that thing out today. It didn't meet my standards.
It wasn't that bad, guys. I mean, honestly, if you're focusing on what he's saying, you're not really paying attention to the wind. So that was my opinion on it, because he critiques everything he puts out so badly that he's like, I'm not even going to put it out. I'm not going to put it out.
Yeah.
No, it had good information in it. If people can just learn to tune out the white noise and listen to the subject, then it's a good video.
So self-control, your time is coming. You'll be sharting with the sharks. And Beard laughed at the tent you bought me with windows. I didn't have anything to do with this tent.
I even asked him. I said, because he had one of the windows zipped up. And I said, do you want me to open the other window so you can have a cross freeze?
Southern Vermont Vintage. Whatnot has commercials everywhere. I see 10 a day now, it seems like. I mean, they're fighting for market share. And eBay needs to do that too. Chastity says, if it isn't authentic, elf on a shelf, use the term knee hugger. Wow. Knee hugger. Kid Wilson, someone returns on me, they get the blocked member treatment. Yeah. It depends on the return. If it was my fault, I'm not going to hold that against the buyer, right? Dark Horse says, I take stool softeners every day. My meds do that to me. If I drink soda, it all the worse, or eat salty foods. Yeah. Gotta get away from the processed garbage that we're kind of, you know, like we had really no choice. In this case, stop at Taco Bell or starve until, you know.
It was the only restaurant where we were at, or restaurant, I say, but only place to get food. It was either that or the gas station.
Oh, that's great.
And that's not a really good option in my book. So we didn't really have much of a choice but to get Taco Bell or gas station food. And we chose gas station or Taco Bell. And for me, that was a very big mistake.
Mike Greta says, well, eBay has trained me to be a robot, so it's possible that I was the buyer demanding immediate shipping service. Just plain Bill says, you might get that camera back in your next pallet. I might. And I might do one of these to it, and it might get closer to me. But my luck, I'll probably get it in my pallet. Mike Greta says, my sales decided to come in during your live again, back to back.
Yes.
Can't wait till Friday to get a three-peat. Yes, that's awesome. Beard says FedEx only takes ground. Expedited has to go FedEx office, so not Dollar General. And I would have. Well, I was just trying to say.
I'm glad I made the further journey.
Ashley says, I'm scheduling listings to list one item every 30 minutes. That's the new thing. So yeah, I'm a firm believer that if you create consistent activity, so every 30 minutes, okay, you might not see any difference if you did every 2 hours, right? But if you did like this whole batch, let's say I have Saturdays off, I'm going to list 100 items today, and then next Saturday I'm going to list 100 items, so I get 200 items listed. You're not showing eBay that consistency. It's not going to be as good of a result, in my opinion, and from just my experience working on the platform, getting those consistent sales or the listings up is going to help your sales tremendously. Venom says, guys, just got a sale 2 days. 2 today. Liking the stream works, y'all. This is like the 3rd time.
Woo! I'm telling you, for some reason, we don't know why it works, but it works.
It does. Southern Vermont Vintage. Yeah, I dislike the buyers that do not read the title, description, condition, does not look at pictures and video, but claims item not as described, especially when it's something you specialize in. And this is where eBay really needs to have our back when, okay, so stop taking the word of these random buyers. And when they say item not as described, but it's clear and day as day in your listing that it is described that way, you know, like I didn't know it didn't come with a water tank, and you put in there that it doesn't come with a water tank. Well, the buyer's not allowed to ask for something that was never included in the sale to begin with. So why is eBay allowing this to happen? And if eBay wants to implement AI, start implementing AI into some of these return requests. So now you implement AI, they say that not as described, didn't, and they put in a little blurb, didn't include a water tank, and that matches what's listed in the listing. AI is smart enough to figure that out. It should say, no, you can return it, but you're paying for the label or whatever. There's got to be something. Do something seller-centric with this technology, but they haven't done that. Ashley Sims, versus listing and putting it right up as active. So for the last 2 days, a new listing went up every half hour, seems to be doing something.
Okay.
I like it.
Interesting.
Beard says expedited FedEx has to go to an office, not Dollar General. Mike Gertis says, speaking of algorithms, I had someone today ask about why my price is so high on a game. And of course, it's sold an hour later. Happens all the time.
A lot.
Beard says, chat, do yourself a favor. Go look at John's listings. So freaking detailed. If the customer is confused, they are a giant DA. We need to stop giving out participation trophies.
This is a fact.
I make mine very detailed.
Fact.
That's why it's another reason why it takes me a little longer to get the listings up. But you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to get the information so the buyer can't say that I didn't say it. Ashley says, I had someone ask me a question that blew me away. It was about an old whistle. How does it work?
What? No way.
Okay. Legacy says eBay recommends 12%. Of course, more money in their pocket. 2% will suffice. I never go with what they recommend. Never, 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 never. In fact, I kind of use what they recommend to help determine what level I'm at. So if it's at like 16 to 20%, I might go 10.1. That's my max. If it's at 13.5, I might go 8.1, right? I'm always well off of what they recommend. I'm not going to feed into what they recommend because, of course, they would recommend it. They get more money for it. You always look so nice and tan.
Oh, thank you.
If you were wearing black, you wouldn't, though, right?
No.
In your theory? Okay.
I would be, well, no, I would, because, see, my chair is brown.
Brian says, I hope everyone had a great weekend and are having a good Monday.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being here, Brian, and thank you for being a member. Nice to see you. Dark Horse is meaning more money. More money. Yes, get that more money. eBay labels in Canada have been a game changer. The rates have improved even recently with options like UPS and FedEx labels up to 90%. Incredible.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that is really good. Best I've seen is like 70% on FedEx. Pitco, you need to source from a sustainable source. Yes. And that's why when I was talking about, for those of you who didn't navigate through my beach experience, I was saying in that video that knowledge is a benefit if it's more of a benefit if you're a niche seller, and you're going to get more knowledge, of course, if you're a niche seller than if you're like me and an everything seller. You know, I get things that I don't come across very often, random stuff. I don't know anything about them, but we're just one click away on Google to learn about it, right? Find out all the benefits, all the bullet points. We can have Gemini is what I use. Have AI give us bullet points to say what are the features of this item and paste it into my listing. It works really, really well. So that's kind of the Cliff Notes version of my video for this morning. Venom, if you remember, I asked y'all last time about liquidation and pallets. Realize it's too much of a gamble for me. Some items may not even work. I can't spend one can of pallet with that risk.
Yeah.
90% of the pallets out there are not worth your time as a reseller. Now, if you can part out some stuff. So like when I'm looking at pallets, I'm looking at a manifested pallet. I'm looking at an item that in worst case scenario, what can I do with this item if it doesn't work? Parts of repair for the item, or I can take parts off of it and sell it individual parts. So that's always in the back of my mind. I can make liquidation work really well because of it. Beard says pirate ships save money on UPS Ground Saver. It's the difference maker. UPS Ground Advantage, usually the same as eBay. Venom says, I found a wholesale company that sells all kinds of things, liquidation, food, electronics, Walmart returns, Amazon mystery boxes. Too much risk for my side hustle.
And those Amazon mystery boxes are scary.
Some people love them. Archie loves them. They're, if you can get a good deal, if you can get like 20 boxes for like $200, like $250, where it's like, what is that? $25 a box. That might be worth it, right? Mystery boxes are so wrong. How can someone buy that confidently? I'm too conservative money-wise to risk that in my business. Anytime you buy liquidation, it really depends on your relationship with the seller. So buy stuff that isn't a mystery box. Buy stuff you can see or is manifested. Try a test buy. See how that works out. And then if you want to take a risk on a mystery box, at least you have an idea who you're dealing with. So like the company that we deal with, they have mystery boxes all the time. They're pretty good. They have PS5s in these pallets that I pick up. Now, others see that and they drive the price up whenever they see PS5, but they're not cherry picking the pallets. These items are in there, and whereas if you go onto Facebook Marketplace and see Amazon mystery boxes, run as far as you can. But we usually get like 20 boxes that are like 22 by 13 by 10 in size. We get about 20 of those boxes for like $250 to $300, and that works out to like what, $25 to $30 a box, and you can get some really good stuff in there. Mike Gertis says, I did a check on Pirate for my 19 shipments, and only one was 10 cents cheaper on Pirate. Damn it, Beard, you wasted 10 minutes of my life. Well, but also think about it. If you buying your labels on eBay, they're taking the money out of your account. You get no rewards for that. And I really like the idea, if you are responsible with a credit card and you have like, 2, 3, 4, 5% cash back rewards, that can really add up over the course of a year, and it's like the same money, you're paying it off every week where you're not in any kind of a trouble, then that works well. Andy Reno says, well, Jenna, looks like you're going to be sleeping next to some toilet seats. How's my FAA family doing?
Not me. Maybe him, not me.
Kid Wilson, if I can learn to tune out white noise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be rich somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. Distractions. Jerry Johnson says, John, in the video, I didn't notice the wind, plus love the beautiful, peaceful ocean background. Well, awesome.
Oh my gosh. I so want to go back to the beach and just sit. So, we have a 3-year-old granddaughter, a 6-year-old granddaughter, a 13-year-old granddaughter, plus my nieces were there, and they're all young. So they're like, Auntie, go here. Grandma, go here. Let's go in the water. It's nice to be, wanted and hang out with everybody. But I also would like, the ocean for me is a very sacred place for serenity. And I would love to just take a chair and just sit and do absolutely nothing but listen to the birds and the waves and the ocean just sing to me.
I did that.
Yeah, you did that because you had a tent.
Yes.
With windows.
And, for me, the beach has always been like, take a football or a ball, right? And just play catch or do something, right? That kind of thing. All little girls running around. No one's doing that. They're playing in the sand castles and all that stuff. So,
well, they actually had,
my son would have been there, or Tyler would have been there. It'd have been like, hey, get the football. Let's throw it around.
Yeah.
We probably would have done something like that.
Well, we did bring the girls, the older girls. So I have my niece is 14 and my granddaughter is 13. They actually brought, they brought a volleyball, but the beach was so packed, there wasn't a big enough area for them to play. So they were going to do that, but.
Who buys sushi from 7-Eleven?
God.
I don't know about that. Kid Wilson says, Taco Bell's way overpriced now. I bet the two of you dropped $25 when you all went the other night. No, we dropped $20. A little under 20.
Was it 20?
Just a little under 20.
Jeez.
Yeah. Larry says, hi, John and Jenna. Happy
I
Monday.
want my $20 back. I'll tell you
We didn't
that
buy a
right
whole
now.
lot. We just bought enough to
Let me
keep
tell
us.
you, I will never eat another Mexican pizza in my life. And those are my favorite.
All right.
One of my favorite.
Do other states ask you to round up everywhere? I'm getting that all the
California,
time. Would you like to round up for the, insert your jovial juggler's like foundation here. Would you like to round up? No, would you like to round? Jovials? Because she's like, national whatever foundation, right? So it's like, would you like to round down?
Would you?
No.
You didn't even use any coupons, which I'm shocked
about. No, I'm not going to round up. I'm not. And what about this? This is something I keep seeing on Facebook. People complaining about tipping, right? Now, look, I'm okay with tipping good service, but this expectation that we need to tip everything. How about you go inside and the person's ringing you up for something and there's a damn tip jar there and the option, and it's like, they flip the screen over to you and say, we got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you like to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? And, I'm sitting there at Pink Box Donuts buying some donuts. And it's like, you haven't done anything but ring me up. And you're going to put a donut in a bag.
A box.
Well, if you buy one, it goes in the bag. If you buy multiples, it goes in the box. So you're going to charge me whatever it is. And you want me to tip. Now, maybe I'm a cheapskate. But it's gotten so bad that, are you going to start tipping your plumber when they come over to, fix something? Are you going to start tipping the guy who takes your money at the gas station for gas? I mean, it's just out of hand. Don't get me started. Larry Way Out says, hi, Ping and Scott. Thanks for being here, Larry. Nice to see you.
Hi, Larry.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Southern Vermont Vintage, window down for the rest of the ride home.
No, it wasn't that kind of a sick. I mean, I wish it was, to be honest. The amount of bloat that I had the rest of the weekend was unbelievable.
Mike, it wasn't 20 because I ordered the little cheapy burritos that they have. I ordered a couple of those and I was good. And they had the 2 to 5 p.m. happy hour for little shot glass icy that they gave me. Just plain Bill says eBay should start allowing a restocking fee for stupid returns. But that would mean that they would have to actually take the seller's side to determine that it's a stupid return. And unfortunately, you have these trusted buyers, but you have these distrusted sellers. We're all distrusted sellers, guys. It's until you prove yourself otherwise to them, you are a distrusted seller. I don't care how long you've been on the platform. Dark Horse says Merari recommendations are the worse than eBay. I haven't seen that. Ashley says, I almost responded with, are you serious, but was trying to stay professional.
Yes. There's so many times where in my head or even just out loud, I will respond the way I want to respond to the buyer. But of course, in my response, it's definitely professional. But yeah, I hear you on that.
So, John, it's your question is, how many listings do you try to get up every day? It's not the number of listings. It's the value. It's the value that I'm putting in my store. So I'd like to get up around $1,000 in total resale value on eBay, at least if I can. And if I fall short, I fall short. If I could do more, I'll do more. And that could be one item. If I get that Alpine stereo or something like that. The guy bought the Fender Stratocaster for like $600. Was totally happy. Said was perfect. He was expecting to be a disaster, and it came perfectly. But that was one listing, and then all I have to do is list a few more, and I hit my quota. Now, like I said, some days I fall short, some days I exceed that. But try to get around $1,000 worth of value, because for me, if we get into the trap of how many items we listed, it's easy for someone to cheat. These little Matchbox cars that sell for $5 or $10 on eBay, I'm going to sell those and get my 20 to 50 item quota up, and I can feel good about myself. When all you've done is put $200 to $300 in value in your store for all that entire day's worth of work, you should be trying to get value in your store. That's why we're able to have under 200 items and make as much money as we do, because we're focusing on the value and not the number of items. Duncan says, change John's hat to a pink one and Jenna so he doesn't look so pale.
He would never not let me. He would never let me do that.
No.
John and his hats is a special relationship I don't mess with.
Duncan says, John, can you ask the casino there to stop sending me free spins emails?
Which casino is it? I want to know.
Legacy Mindset. The terrible thing about pallets and truckloads is getting multiples of one item that doesn't sell. You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble with non-manifested, right? So you're using whatever you can see. That's why I'm so picky on what I buy, especially if it's non-manifested. It's really got to, you really got to give me a good deal to even think about that. Samantha says, John, every time you say Venom, I'm thinking about the movie and voice. Mm-hmm. Pitco, I buy manifested pallets and can make it work since buying pallets can make more than ever did going to boot sales and charity shops. Yeah. I'm a firm believer. If you buy the right pallets, you're going to make some money. Beard says, Mike G, UPS Ground Saver is usually less than Ground Advantage on eBay or Pirate Ship. I have free UPS pickup, so it's amazing to save money, and they pick up for free. Mm-hmm. You got that excuse me, you got that special coupon or whatever through UPS. I tried using that coupon you gave me a year or so ago, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're not getting free pickup, so it didn't work. Mr. Sadie says, hey, John and Jenna, went to driving range last night, first time in 3 years, and hit 150 balls. So I'm typing this with my nose, but hope you're well. Yeah. I'm looking into getting back into bowling. So we're trying to figure out, we're definitely going to stay away from Mondays and Friday nights because of the show, but maybe Thursday, trying to get back into an old league on Thursday, jump on a team or something, but we'll see. Venom, John, you should explain what a manifest is. I learned what it was, but for folks who don't know, I know it's just a paper near the pallet that says what's in the pallet, quantity, item name, etc. Well, that's exactly what it is. So sometimes some sellers will have a list of stuff like, this is what's in the pallet, right? That's if you're buying it in person. But most of the pallets I buy will have some like photos of the pallet, and it'll say it's either manifested or not. And if it's manifested, you click on it and it'll show you usually UPC, description of what it is, the MSRP of the item, which is usually a little bit more inflated than it actually is. But some sites will give you a pretty accurate assessment of that. And then it's up to you to figure out if it's worth buying or not with that information. So manifest, you know what's in it. Unmanifested, you have no idea other than what you can see. Southern Vermont Vintage, you can link your PayPal and have an eBay take shipping costs from there, where you link your points back to the credit card. I noticed that eBay has started matching Pirate Ship's prices. Well, they need to. I know they're looking for creative ways to skim. I guess that would be skimming. If they say, look, we're giving you a discounted rate of $6. It's really costing us $5.50, but you're paying $6, even though Pirate Ship's charging $5.50. To me, that's skimming. Tiffany Moto, can you withhold initial shipping for an INAD? You can go in, but you have to be able to justify it. So if you have the refund tool, now some don't have the refund tool because top rated sellers have to offer at least 30 days. Doesn't have to be free. Above standard, you have to offer free 30-day return. So it just depends on where your seller level is. Once you get the item back on an INAD, you have the ability to unclick on the or unselect the refund shipping button. Now, you'll notice that if it's a change mind return, that'll automatically be unclicked off, right? So eBay is not expecting you to refund the original shipping. If it's item damaged or any other problem like an INAD, now you have to provide justification. You have to put in there, buyer did not include accessories or whatever, and now I'm keeping the original shipping, or let's say they lied about the return. They lie about the return. They're not getting that original shipping back. I'll unclick it along with screenshots of the listing saying that we told them no water tank. They're saying that they didn't get a water tank. Well, that's what they got. They got one with no water tank. They got what they ordered. There is no INAD here. And I haven't had any problems. Now, eBay might step in when they complain because eBay is going to give them 10 business days to respond. And they might complain about it, and eBay will step in and usually give them money out of their own pocket. Let's see, Larry way out. Larry, it was way too hot last night to be doing that much exercise and practice. Yes, I agree. Ashley, at Subway, they have the tip thing when you use your card in the reader, push 12, 15%.
Yeah.
It's never been a thing before. I mean, the whole idea about tips is like, you're seating me, right? You're going to come over to me. You're going to offer me the what's the soup of the day, or you're going to, bring my drinks. You're going to bring my food. You're going to come over and check on me. You're going to fill my water. These are services, right? So you're paying for that. But if you're buying a sandwich from somebody, I mean, I don't know. It just seems to be a little overboard now. They're taking it too far. You should tip at a restaurant. I don't think you should tip are you going to tip, let's say your grocer, right? They're ringing up all your groceries. You're going to tip them for ringing your groceries up? I don't know. Jovius says the plumber tips you with a vertical smile. Gee. Duncan says get his and hers beach tent set next time so you can sit back and enjoy the breeze like John did. There's room. She said to me, I told her, look, you can come and sit with me. She's like, well, I should be able to. It's a 4-man tent. I'm like thinking, you ain't getting 4 of me in this thing.
3-man.
Oh, you downgraded it.
No,
okay.
I didn't.
So
I said
she still could have sat in there with me. And guess what? For a little while, she did.
I did only for a little bit when my tummy was not happy.
Duncan says it's definitely what value you list. I always put the best items up first. Yeah, exactly. Henri Skull, how did you ship the guitar? So we shipped the guitar. It came in a fender box. The fender box was shaped like the guitar. And then there's enough room in there so I could take the quilted air pillows, and I wrapped multiple sections of the guitar up really good and fit that thing in there. He said it was perfect. Had no problems. I got to tell you, we get the bubble wrap all the time from American Bubble Boy and all that.
We need to place an order.
Okay. But the quilted air pillows, I love that little machine. I just run whatever I need. I don't have to use half the bubble wrap that I use now. I absolutely love it. Designer puppet string. eBay allowed a buyer to open a return after 58 days when my window was 30 days. When the buyer didn't get their way, they left me a negative. To save my feedback score, I asked for a revision. If I just refunded them the $28, my thing was, why did eBay even allow the return to go through?
Right.
Why do you, as eBay, give the buyer a button that says open a return and give the buyer some kind of hope? And when you say decline return, because you get 4 options: decline return, give the buyer a refund, who you'd be nuts to do that, accept the return, or something else, give a partial refund. Well, when you click decline, it goes to another screen and it says, please tell us why you're not giving the buyer an option to return. We believe that it leads to a better buyer experience, and they guilt you into maybe offering a return, because eBay gives a generous 30-day return policy, and for some reason this buyer didn't even test this item out, at least that's what they're saying, until 40 some odd days afterwards. I don't buy it. Yeah. You rented my item, you broke it, now you want me to take it back. I ain't going to take it back. You let me know that there's a problem. Test the thing. You buy something that's functional, take 5 minutes and test it. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. And then say that I'm selling defective products as your negative feedback. Just nuts. Larry, just skipped over my hi to them, though it was up on the screen. I think I was ranting on tips. I think he was ranting on tips.
Yeah, you clicked on him and put it on the screen for his hi to, because we said, well, hello to you too, Larry.
Yeah.
And he actually did say hi.
Team Venom, Tommy Z is with us. Thanks for being here, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
A Fuega, trusted buyer, is that their newest anti-seller thing? I would rather see them put more effort into protecting sellers.
It'd be nice.
I agree.
I really, really enjoy their
Emery Randall says, I crapped my pants a minute ago, but didn't even notice due to the mesmerizing content of this live stream. Well, thank you. That's the nicest thing you've never said to us. Pitco, hey guys, thanks for the show. Good to see you both back. I'm glad Jenna feeling better, but gotta go. Hope you all have a good week, and John will catch Friday's show on the road. Well, thank you. We're almost done here anyway. Duncan says, should you tip the Starbucks worker for a pickup order?
Hell no.
I mean, it's just too much at this point.
I'm sorry.
The people that have these shops should pay their people properly. Larry, I agree with John's logic on tipping. I was at a restaurant last week that the machine suggested starting tip was at 25%.
What?
And service was bad. I mean, you got to earn that tip.
Hell no.
I don't mind giving 25% if it's outstanding service. But
Right.
if you say, look, table of 8, you're going to tip 18% off, from the beginning. What's the incentive to get that good service that you're hoping for?
Exactly.
Beard, at 58 days, I would have waited 2 days to respond, get it to 60 to protect feedback, then tell them to pound sand. You're probably right on that. That'd have been good. But knowing eBay and how they're helping their trusted buyers get through, they probably would have offered to put it in for them, even if it was beyond 60 days. But I think we're going to leave it at that. Guys, we have to accept and understand that eBay is going to side with the buyers. The scale is going to always be kind of tipped on the buyer side. And I think we kind of want that. We want to create an atmosphere on eBay where buyers want to come back and give them the best buying experience that they can. I'm okay with that. The problem is the secretiveness, the non-transparency, and not including the seller in this equation. We have to find out from Liz Morton, right? We shouldn't have to do that. And accepting that, being okay with that, and just keep making money on the platform despite all that nonsense is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your week, start to your week, and we will talk to you guys.
Start to week, right?
Well, and
have a wonderful week, you guys.
Yes.
I hope your sales are abundant and you feel all the love that we give.
And we're going to have 40 seconds here to give a thanks to our members, and we will see you guys on Friday.
Love you. Bye.
Take care.